Hello, my name is Errol Fabian, and it's great to be drug-free.
Watch out, my children. It have a fella called Lucifer with a bag of white powder. And he don't want to powder your face, but to bring shame and disgrace to the human race.
Errol Fabian. For more than 2 decades, Errol Fabian has been one of Trinidad and Tobago's, and indeed the Caribbean's, leading entertainers. He has thrilled audiences with his unique presentations and serious messages he portrays using comedy as his major medium. This is the Errol Fabian that people know today. But 20 years ago, there was a different Errol Fabian, a man who had sunk to the depths of humanity, a man caught in a deadly web of drug usage, and who found himself lying and stealing in order to support a drug habit he had carried for most of his young life. For Errol, it began at the tender age of 14.
My story is that of the classic drug addict. I started off with gateway drugs, alcohol, cigarettes, and graduated to the harder drugs. I never thought I had a problem. For most of my drugging years, I never thought I had a problem. And the only time I realized that I really had a problem was when I hurt my children through my drug use. And that is the thing that made me sit up and take notice. But too far gone was I to do anything about it on my own, because I did try. I tried and tried. And in an attempt to not hurt my children, I started spending less and less time with them, and more time away from home, more and more time on the streets. Life as a drug user is a living hell.
20 years ago, on March 1st, 1988, for Errol Fabian, the long journey back from hell began with his first step when he entered a rehabilitation program run by the Living Waters community. The program is set up to assist those who have been caught in the deadly web of illegal drug abuse. On Saturday, March 1st this year, to mark the 20th anniversary of his journey back from hell, Errol Fabian will undertake the Freedom Walk. The Freedom Walk will commence in Icacos at 1 second after 12 midnight on February 29th and will progress through the towns and villages of this country, with a walk culminating in Port of Spain. The choice of Icacos to start the walk is symbolic, as is the choice of walking for 1 day. Icacos, being the furthest point in Trinidad and Tobago, symbolizes that 20 years ago, Errol Fabian had reached the furthest point in his life, and from there he began the long journey back. The walk for 1 day is in keeping with the mantra that recovery from drug addiction takes place 1 day at a time.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is now 3 minutes to midnight. In 3 minutes' time, the Freedom Walk will begin. Errol will be doing 6 legs. He will walk for 3 hours on each occasion. When he starts here, he'll walk until 3 o'clock in the morning. We will then shuttle him to the Guapo Government School, and leg 2 will begin at 4 o'clock in the morning. He will walk for another 3 hours. And so for that will go on. Then we move him then to the 3rd point, which is in Cuba. Then the 4th point is Chaguanas. The 5th is in Arima. And the final leg begins at the corner of Duncan Street and South Key in Port of Spain and ends at Movie Town. And as we come around the Savannah, His Excellency the President will join Errol on the final leg of the walk. The walk, ladies and gentlemen, is about to begin. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Errol Fabian. Let the walk begin.
Okay, so folks, the walk has just begun. We've just left Icarcus Point on the beach. Errol has arrived. We were given a little opening speech by Neil Giuseppe. He urged us all to walk, but respect Errol's need for silence. That's the commitment he's made, and that's what he would like us to honour. I know a lot of people have wanted to come out and walk, but perhaps couldn't because they are infirm, they have transportation problems, and so on. But there are all sorts of contributions that you can make. Choose one that best suits you. If you can walk, do that. If you can donate to the cause, the plan is to make public education documentaries on the dangers of drug abuse. That's what the money will go towards, so that is a very good cause. It's 24 hours, and Gael and many of the other TV stations will keep you up to date as the walk progresses, and we are in Icarcus. See you soon. Winston Gypsy Peters. It's in the middle, well, the early hours of the morning.
Yes.
We're in Icarcus. Just left. Why are you here? Have you chosen to walk with Errol?
Well, I am here because Errol chose to walk, and he chose to make a statement in terms of what drugs has done to him and what it can do to other people and what he has done for himself and what is possible for other people if they would choose his way. And this is his way of saying thanks, and I think that this is my way of saying thanks for him.
Mel Hodge, you're a long way from home.
Yep, you bet, yes, yes. Well, I'm here, a number of us from Working Women decided we had to make this march. In the first place, Errol is a treasure, as you know. Errol is a national institution. And I think that this, you know, what he's doing here, the way that he shares his life, the way that he's very open about his life to the whole nation is a very important thing. And in particular, his struggle with drugs is something for us to mark and note, because it shows the strength of the human spirit, and also he himself admits that he didn't do it on his own. So I think we need to recognize and mark and celebrate the way in which the human spirit can overcome that kind of problem with the help of others, you know, with human beings helping human beings. So we're starting with him, and we are going to do the last lap with him as well.
Journey began 20 years ago, and tonight, he's beginning again to continue this journey, to prove to himself, to the people around him, and to you, Almighty Creator, that where there is life, there is hope. Continue to bless him, continue to guide him, continue to make him an example for one and for all in this nation of ours, as we strive to come out of the difficulties that we face daily.
Okay. Okay, we're making good progress. It's a beautiful evening. We've seen the crescent moon, and we're here with Junior Bisnap, no stranger to the Guyal. Indeed, we consider him a friend. How are you doing, Junior?
Yes, very well. It's very early in the morning and we're enjoying the walk at this time. And it's great to see so many people come out to support this walk.
You're here with Mokojumbis. How many have you brought out?
Well, we have quite a number of them, but at the moment we have 2 of the Mokojumbis involved with the walk right now. And as we go along, others will take up the slack while these other 2 rest. As a matter of fact, only just last week we were in the Clico Marathon, walking 26 miles, and then we are here today now to do this walk.
Are you then saying you're planning to walk all the way to Port of Spain?
Port of Spain, yes, we willing to go the distance. Okay. Anything to make Trinidad a better and brighter future, we involved with that.
We're here this morning with 3 of the daughters of Errol Fabian. How are you all feeling this morning?
It's good to be here, cheering him on, supporting him.
What did you think when your father first came up with the idea?
Is he crazy? I was like, how could you walk from Caracas to Port of Spain? I mean, you couldn't make that? Anybody could make that?
I thought he would do it by himself, and I'd go and meet him after.
Yeah. I thought it was a good idea because I knew it was something important to him, something he would want to celebrate. So I thought it was a good idea.
Okay, so he's been drug-free now for 20 years. I'm quite sure that this is a big thing for you all as well, because you all were there with him during those days, and now
Some of us, a lot younger.
some of us, well, some of you all weren't there, but you know what I mean. How does it feel seeing him reach this milestone?
I'm very proud of him. He has really come a long way. He's worked hard to reach where he is, and I'm just really very, very proud of him. I love him very much.
So am I. I am proud. I'm also proud, and what I think is that a lot of children, you know, their parents get to be proud of them, but we get to be proud of our dad, especially today.
If there was one message that you all could send to him right now, I mean, he's not talking, so we can't talk to him, but what would you all say to him right now?
We love you, Daddy.
My gosh, viewers, we are at Choro Junction. The tension is building as walkers prepare to begin this next leg, the third leg. We're heading towards Chaguanas, and we are with a number of people here who have joined the walk for the first time. Of course, we have been walking, some of us, since a minute after midnight, and so at 8 o'clock, this is now 8 hours. Those walkers, people who've been walking, seem in good spirits. They're still healthy and strong and seem determined to complete this. However, people are also joining us along the way, and we invite you to do that. And I've just met some lovely people who have joined us here. Good morning to you, ladies.
Morning. Morning.
Tell me your names.
Ina Ramlal.
And Ina, your friend?
Nurun Mohammed.
Come close, don't be shy.
Nurun Mohammed.
Now, you are joining this walk for the first time?
Yeah, first time.
Yeah, first time.
Why have you decided to join Errol in this walk?
Because I think he came such a long distance and he touched everybody's heart, and seeing that he have we station, I think we need to join him because he's with us and we with him.
And you, sir, how are you?
Amoroso is the name. My son happened to be an addict as well for about over 20 years. He's 46. When the school at Errol, Naparima College, no end hell, I tell you. I do have to tell you, maybe you know some of the things broke. Threatening his sisters, his mother, they're in hell. Because of him, we are living in a cave, bordered right around with iron and steel. I thought he would have been here. I live right in California. Errol knows him well, he knows me well. I thought he was going to see me here this morning. But I wish Errol well. I mean, it's a hard road, but when you're in it, you have to get your heart hard against these guys, boy. I try very, very much with my son, but
Hi, look who I found. This, for those of you who don't know, is Errol's sister, Jenny. Morning, Jenny.
Morning, Magella. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Somebody's whispering sweet nothings in my
his
ear.
aunt.
That's his Auntie Carol.
Auntie Landa from Toronto.
Auntie, come back.
And that's his other sister, Eleanor, from Miami.
Eleanor has gone
Walking
to,
with her.
we will catch up with everybody. Anyway, my darling, have you come especially for this walk? Or?
Yes. I didn't come from too far because I'm in Tobago now.
Okay.
So I came down on the boat yesterday and I joined in Vancouver.
Right.
Because I had to meet Eleanor at the airport. She came in at 11:30 last night.
Especially
so we
for
couldn't
this?
do, yes.
Wow, that's
So we could not
amazing.
do the early walk.
This
Yes.
is phenomenal. Tell me why it's been so important, your sister to come in from all that way, from Canada, you from Tobago. Why has this been important for you to do?
It's important because even at the early stages with Errol, we were all there for him. When he first went into rehab, we were there all for him. And our family is very close-knit. We don't have our parents, but we are very close-knit, and Errol is very close to all of us.
Okay, the walk is way ahead of us. We're lagging behind, but we've met a lovely family who have come out just to see what's happening, to give their support and to cheer the walkers on. Good morning to all of you.
Good morning. Hi, good morning. Morning.
How far have you come from in order to be here?
We've come from California.
Now, you know, quite often we've been encouraging people to come out and walk, but the spectators we find have been just as important because it's given us courage to keep walking, especially when the walk has been long. So it's really lovely to see you all out. What about you? What are your thoughts on Errol and today?
Well, my thoughts, I think it's something really, really good because I have a nephew that was on drugs, and you know what I see what drugs did to him because he had died just 2 years ago, and I appreciate it, and I feel it is something real great that he's doing for the country, so the youth could look at him as he is an example, and he looked at him as like a role model that they could follow after his footsteps.
Well, look who we have caught up with now, and Abibile is making this walk seem as though it's just an easy Sunday afternoon stroll because we are huffing and puffing and he's just taking his strides with ease. Good morning to you, Abibile.
Good morning to you, Magella. And you have lovely weather. And remember, when you grow up in San Fernando, walking all these hills and you get flat terrain, walk very simple. And then you're working for a worthy cause.
Okay. Well, Abibile, this is the first time in a long time I've seen you without your guitar. Where is she?
Well, there's one at the studio because I have to go and participate in the telethon until 6. So in my bag here I have my amplifier.
Oh my gosh,
So
you have added weight.
that balances the whole equation. I'm a Libran, you know, my scale has to balance.
Now, we know you and Errol have history, and probably a long one too. Why is it important for you to do this walk? Because you are already contributing by participating in the telethon. Why are you taking this hot sun?
To start with, I'm a born and bred Trinbagonian. Hot sun is part of my life. Then, it's a worthy cause, come on. And I must say hats off to Errol in taking the initiative or showing people that you could take back your country. The thing had to start somewhere. Because you can't depend on the judiciary and the courts. Because who have more corn feed more fowls. So once you have a proper QC, you could win any case. But if you walk here, make a statement, you're touching the communities, you're supposed to generate a little support.
Now, you know this country, part of the country, better than us, at least, us townies. We're in McBean. Where are we?
Right now, this is on the McBean stretch. To my right, that's the village of Bocaro. You're approaching St. Mary's, Carrick-Chama, Freeport.
Right here, next to me, is our own Christopher Led. Christopher, how are you doing? We have to keep up. They're asking us to step up our pace. We're not going fast enough for these.
Walk here, you know.
I know. I have to say, the Defence Force guys are so fit that I feel like we've run from Icarcus to St.
But
Mary's.
it must be Errol too, because they were hurrying me up. I said, but you'll kill Errol. He said, but that's the pace he's walking at.
And he didn't practice. He didn't train for this.
He tried, but you know, Errol's time is chock-a-block with other people's business, and so I don't think he got much practicing in at all.
So how do you think he's keeping up this pace?
I think it's strength of mind.
Wow.
Because you see it on his face. You see his concentration. The one day at a time, the one step at a time.
Yeah.
And I mean, I walked the first 3 hours, and after the rest, my legs were locked up. I'm walking this one now, but I don't know how he could have walked. Yes, this is now coming on to 8 hours of walking.
Yeah.
Incredible, incredible.
Yeah. Well, you know Errol pretty well. You all have a long, long, long history together. What do you think he might be going through right now?
I can only imagine the mixture of determination and joy at the response he's getting. Yeah. I can only imagine it. I mean, I don't know what he's going through, but he's putting one foot in front of the other, and he knows he has a long way to go still. But the love around is very intense.
Yeah.
And but also it's a reaffirmation of the whole Gael thing of being, of showing that there is positive things around in the world, and also that Trinidad is not just a barrel of crabs.
Right. Now, an important thing for us to say is that this is not a Gael initiative. We're involved, obviously, because we claim Errol as our own, but it's not a Gael initiative. Tell me about this joint venture that we are in with other media houses.
Well, from the very beginning, the CNMG was very excited about coming in on this, and we have to hold up. We're holding people back, and also. It is not a Gael initiative, it's an Errol Fabian initiative, and the effort is to try and make it national, and therefore you have CNMG, you have during the telethon we're going to have Synergy supposed to take some of it, IATV, Channel 4, NCC that is, and so everybody's coming together, and I know everyone is excited about working together, because normally it's a sort of corner, you know, you look at each other with a corner of the eye for the competition, but not for this. So it's really exciting, and I think Julian Rogers from CNMG will be joining us in Gael for the last leg tonight, and that's going to be really nice to have him.
And we are sharing technology as well.
Yes, because all that we're shooting now will be transferred by CNMG to our studios. So if they're using their equipment to send it live to our studios, and so that they can get it quickly without us having to put it in a motorbike and send it up to Port of Spain. So it's a very generous co-share arrangement.
So love, blessings, thanks to our partners in all the other media houses. We've reached St. Mary's Junction. 3 hours, next leg.
I love the culture and I love the people, I love my country. And that is one of the main reasons why I support Errol and all his endeavors. Because he has this country at heart. What he is doing here today speaks volumes, and it is an encouragement to those who may have fallen into that situation that he found himself in, and that he's demonstrating to them that there's hope. There's hope that if he can do it, you can do it with that determination. And that is what Errol is all about, and I will always support him.
Thank you.
You're most welcome.
What are you doing for the rest of the day? Are you sticking this out right through to Port of Spain?
Yeah, I'm sticking it out. I'm going straight to Port of Spain. If it takes me until 4 tomorrow, I'm right there to give them 100% support, all the support he needs. I'm right there because I said I'm going to do this. First of all, I said I was just going to make it halfway, and then when I talked to myself, I said, self, this wouldn't be right. I need to go all the way. And I decided I'm going to go all the way and make it out with him, make it through with him.
Now you have food here. I've seen you serving the Coast Guards, and so Errol's daughters pass through, other walkers and so on. Is this part of the Point 14 effort? Is this your personal thing?
Well, I went out and I asked some of the caterers in Point if they can, I wanted to do something. I know we would end up with like that situation with like this. So I asked them, I said, can you please assist me in making certain things? And they said, no, it's not a problem, we do anything, you know. And they went, some of them went, they some made baked pumpkin, saltfish. One girl, Liz, she did the baked saltfish. My mom, my dad, Mr. Bacchus, he did the pumpkin. The broth we all had earlier on, they had earlier on Mirror, he made it. And some guys from C just bought the ingredients. And Passy's also had breakfast down there. They also made stuff and brought up in Guapo. And, you know, I say, you're going on a walk and you're not sure what you're going to have or what you're going to eat or the pit stops. You don't want to be buying stuff on the road. So I say, you know what, to make life easier for everybody, let me organize and prepare for everybody and eat and have a good time and enjoy the day, enjoy the walk and everything. And so.
Well, I'd like to thank you on behalf of all of us, because as we know, women, one of the ways women have always shown their love is through food. And I think in this case, this is exactly what you've done. And thank you so much.
You're most welcome, Angela.
All right, Errol has just emerged from wherever he was resting as he prepares to start his next leg. We're seeing him being greeted by a number of people. He's still not talking, but the old Naps boys have come out to greet him. Chris and Errol are kind of meeting again. Sort of I guess for this leg, we haven't seen much of Errol. He's been up in front. The pace that we've been keeping, I have to say, with this walk has been fast. And we were thinking, oh my gosh, it's, you know, because the regiment are here and the Coast Guard are here and they're so fit. And they're not realizing that the rest of us aren't fit. This is a fast pace, only to discover that actually Errol is setting the pace. He's the one that is walking at that steady but fast pace. So clearly, even though he hasn't had much of a chance to... somebody's kissing my hand, that's why I'm making those funny things. Come and talk to me. Although he hasn't had much of a chance to really prepare for this physically. Clearly he's done it mentally, but not physically. He's clearly in good physical shape because he's walking really fast. How are you doing?
I'm doing quite all right, Majella.
Have you been walking?
No, I just traveling because I just want to see you and see you walk. I enjoy seeing you walk, Majella. And from this morning I saw you on the TV, I said, well, oh, go, Majella in shape, so I know well, she would make the whole walk. So I would come and catch you down the track.
You know the walk isn't about me.
I know who it's about. I know Errol for a long while. I've spoken to him. I know what the walk is about. But I just walked to see Majella walk.
Okay, and how's Errol looking?
Oh, he's looking fit and ready like he's... I am so happy that he has made this walk because there are a lot of people out here who have been recovering from whatever substances. And I think it's a good thing that he is doing this to let them get strength and know then that they are not alone.
Errol again is warming up now. He's beginning to get ready for the next leg. He's having to work out any kind of aches or pains or stiff muscles that he might have in his legs. He has now walked, I mean, he's now been walking for, wow, how many hours is that? We started off at midnight and it's now what time? About, it's 12, so that's how many hours? 10, that's 12 hours. He's been walking for 12 hours, and that's a hell of a lot of time. He still refuses to talk, which is very good because it means his mind is completely set on his purpose. This is a phenomenal goal that he has set himself, to walk for 24 hours in silence, to keep his own counsel, and to make it to Port of Spain. We must be there by midnight. We're hoping to see lots more people come out as we head behind the bridge, come back round, go through Belmont, hit the Savannah, walk around the Savannah, meet up with the President and the Mayor of Port of Spain and other friends and family, of course. But long before we do that, we have to make it to Arima. We hope we're going to see Mr. Bielik, some of the Gael family, lots of friends along the way. I don't want to think about this, but this is one hell of a challenge. But I know we're going to make it. Good morning, sir. You're part of the walk.
I am Dr. Omar Ali, and I'm an assistant medically in whatever medical conditions come up, but I hope not.
So you are volunteering to do this for anybody who has any ailments along the way?
As well, but particularly Errol Fabian. And we wish him all the best. I know he'll complete it in good health.
How is he so far?
Very good. We are examining him across here in the private doctor's office, Dr. Ramtahal, and he's in good shape. He's very good. He's very good, considering that, you know, the marathon that he has accomplished halfway by now. I am sure he'll be good.
So you are going to be doing this throughout the...
I will do a leg for the next 3 hours, and another doctor will take over after that.
This is so wonderful. Thank you so much.
Everybody's assisting. It's a wonderful idea, and Errol is a remarkable citizen of Trinidad and Tobago.
Do you know him before, or you know him through TV?
No, I've only know him through the newspaper and all the charitable organizations that he's assisted and what he believes in.
It's so beautiful that you should do this. Any advice for any of the other walkers or people who might be watching who are planning to come out later in terms of how to keep themselves well on the walk?
Oh, they should be wearing proper footwear to start with, proper clothes. They should be well hydrated, and at this time of the day, I think they should wear headwear for heat stroke prevention.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I have just found somebody who's clearly very important because he's an old NAPS boy. And I know Naparima College is something very dear to Errol's heart. How are you, sir?
Fine, thank you. Fine, thank you. Great feeling to be here with Errol, supporting him and all these people here.
Yes. Is everything that Errol says about NAPS true?
Everything Errol said about NAPS is true. Our alma mater there, the school we all revere. And it's helped us to be what we wanted to be.
Why are you out here today?
Because I believe in what Errol is doing. I believe that the country needs right now something to gel around. We need leadership. We need something to focus on. And this is good. We need love. And this is what Errol is about, love. And perhaps the most important thing for me is that Errol coming here and not doing something for himself. He's quiet, he's not talking, he's doing it for us, for the people of Trinidad and Tobago. And this is what we need.
Okay, I had said before, that I was saying goodbye to everyone. It wasn't really a goodbye because it was very important to speak to you. I know everyone will want to look back at this and know that the Naps boys were here in full strength. Any particular message for him as a former Naps boy?
Yeah, the message for him is what we learned, what NAPS taught us, to be strong, to do what is right. Let's keep going. This walk should be the start and not the end. It should be the beginning of something for the whole country. And for the rest of the year, we should be walking somehow. Somehow we should be doing this walk in our minds. Right. Thank you.
Shoot. You have to walk a little faster now. He has your back.
Right, let's move on. Let's go.
We know that God is one, and truth is one, but the wise people call him by many names. And today we ask that whatever form you can relate to God, whether you call God Ganesh, Rama, Krishna, Durga Ma, the Christ, Allah, it matters not. The most important thing is that you call. Let us all join with love in our hearts and with devotion. Please join as we pray.
Good morning to you, sir.
Morning.
What brings you here this morning?
Well, I decided that I will do the leg from Montrose Junction to Chin Chin. As you know, I was not very well, so the feet, But I must do it because I am proud of Errol. I've known Errol for many years. I know Errol the up and the down. And I have listened to Errol testify some years ago at the St. Mary's Hall. And I knew that he was determined, and he has proven it. 20 years drug-free is a fantastic achievement. And you can only do that with determination. You can only do that resisting temptation. Fortunately for me, I've had the experience of doing voluntary work for 2 years at Ward 8 in Port of Spain Hospital, and up at Cora with addicts, both alcoholic and with drugs, cocaine and so on. And certainly it is very easy to slip, very, very easy to slip. And for him to hold that, right, it says something. I think that he cares a lot, not I think, I know he cares a lot for his children. And his children would have been also a motivating factor, so that he has achieved tremendously. And this is an example. And as we all know, he is walking in silence. And that is another, you are seeing the kind of discipline. For it is only a disciplined mind can begin to overcome the question of addiction, right?
Amoroso.
Where are we exactly right now?
We're in Enterprise. We just crossed into Enterprise. We're approaching the Angel Harp Spaniard and where was the Goldfinger spread along the Southern Main Road in Enterprise.
Why have you joined this march?
I joined it because I believe that if we are to develop as a people in the way in which we should develop, we all have to do what we can. And I think Errol's story is inspiring in many ways, not just his personal story, but what Gael as a station has done. I know it's not a Gael initiative, but what he did through Gael with others, and including Chris Laird and so on. And I think that the fact that he's trying to touch the entire nation is important. I think that we as a people need to start standing up for whatever issue we believe in and taking direct action. The time for passivity has ended. We have many social and other ills facing our country, and we have to start standing up and telling whoever the powers that be, listen, we want some action now. In addition to which, we all have friends and family who have been affected in some way by drugs. It's not always narcotics. It's not always illegal drugs. But the problems of addiction are very widespread, and they have in some way touched all of us. And we need to raise the awareness of issues such as these, because no one issue acts in isolation. For example, with the closure of Caroni Limited, the care center in Central really has been suffering. And that was the main, if not the only, rehab center for the people of Central Trinidad. And I want to highlight things like this. I mean, and I want to use this opportunity to highlight the things that affect us in Central, but also as a national issue, it's important. I support the initiative. I think it's very worthwhile, and I think when things happen, especially when they happen in our communities, we cannot sit back and hope that others will do for us. We have to do for ourselves, and I am all about the individual development through the individual, development through the individual in one's community, and then we can develop nationally. And that's why I think this is an excellent initiative, and I support it.
Do you have concerns about specific areas in your constituency that are particularly affected by drug pushing and drug abuse and so on?
Sure. Throughout the entire constituency, drug abuse is an issue. Because like nowhere else, like everywhere else, nothing is isolated. You know, some things are more obvious and in your face in some areas than others. But you have high-class drug use, which is a different kind of drug use to what we would call the piper and so on. Right here in Enterprise, every time the police talk about a lockdown in the Lavantil Mova area, they say, well, you have to watch out in Enterprise because criminals come down here. Enterprise itself is a hotbed, but it must not be stigmatized only as that. Because you see right across the road from us is the Tropical Angel Harps Panyard. It is a panyard, it is a pan movement which has been funded by, organized by the community. It is the only large band without a major sponsor. So that there's a lot of good right here, and I believe that through initiatives such as these, we can encourage the good people who outnumber significantly all the bad people. Encourage them to come out and stand up and in whatever way. Help a neighbor, help a friend, help a relative, or help the community. So that while I'm concerned about particular areas, I think that we need to look at things more holistically, and we need to use whatever little skills, talents, initiative we each have to go out there and do something that will in turn inspire others somehow, some way. Yeah?
Okay, we are with the mayor of Orima, Mr. Adrian Cabrales. How are you?
I'm fine, sir. How are you?
All right, I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. How do you feel to be part of the Freedom Walk?
This is really a powerful statement being made in our country as far as the drug situation is concerned. And I'm happy to be a part of this exercise with Errol, and certainly an icon in our country, one who has walked the walk. And he certainly has the right to talk the talk, even though it is in silence. The statement is powerful.
And we're on Eastern Main Road. It's hot, but people are walking. Hundreds of people have come out to support Errol Fabian in his Freedom Walk, 20 years drug-free. And one of the people is this lady here from the Rotary Club in St. Joseph. Yeah?
Yes, ma'am.
How far have you been walking from?
We started off in Arima. Okay.
And how's it been going for you so far?
It's been going just wonderful.
Yeah?
Yes.
Why are you out here today?
Okay, being the president of the Rotary Club of Maracas St. Joseph, I just thought it was fitting that the club get involved because we're all about community and about developing a change. And this year, our Rotary theme is Rotary Shares. And I say, why not share it with Errol at this point in time so we can walk with him? Not only that, in addition, he is a resident of St. Joseph. And
so is this community coming out to support him in a way?
Yes. Yes.
No, we're marching for the end of drug abuse in Trinidad and Tobago. Are drugs a problem in your community? Is this something that you find that the Rotary Club is having to address among the young people in your community?
Not really, and if it is what we have heard of other people. Right. And so when we hear the cry of other people, and this is a way of trying to heal the nation, because a lot of the problems that we see in the nation at this point in time develop from drugs. You know, so in order for us to change the society, we have to participate in anything that's positive.
I think it's a great achievement because some people can't go that far, and it's kind of, well, as far as I know, it's hard to come off of like coke and things. So I think it's something that's very good for him to achieve, and it shows he have great character and stuff like that.
How far you been walking from?
Mausica. And we out of breath already.
Maloney Women's Group and the Senior Citizens Group from Maloney.
That's great.
Yes, so we gave our pledge and we decided to come out and walk also. Although we are 60 and 60 something plus.
But we're looking very good for 60 something plus. You look at your So where are we now? Where he is?
Aruka.
So we're in Aruka and we're walking into Bonaire. Why are you all out here today in this hot sun?
To identify with the cause, right? Because, I mean, we have, I think all of us, most of us have some relative or so on who on drugs, right? And if Errol could do it, it's a sort of hope, right? So I hope we could find a solution to those, you know, so they could get enlightenment and do likewise. You know, at least start the process of getting off of the drugs, you know?
You want to say something?
No, we thank you very much for identifying us, and not just identifying us, because we know in Maloney we have the whole drug system also. So we are hoping that between both of us, the Senior Center and the Maloney Women's Group, that we'll be able to do something and show that Errol is a beacon,
Yeah.
they can follow.
And certainly the elders in a community have a serious role to play in terms of saying to the younger people, you know.
We do have a serious role, and we are taking it one day at a time, but we are enjoying it.
Great.
Yes.
It's good to see you all out here. We are approaching Arima Old Road, the fork in the road there between Arima Old Road and Eastern Main Road. And very glad to see on the walk Mr. Andy Johnson, who's a mentor to me in the media fraternity. Andy, how's the walk going?
Well, I'm just doing an hour, so it's easy for me at this point. I joined in Arima, which is where I live, so I said I would do this leg from Arima to Tunapuna.
To Tunapuna, okay.
Yeah, I may, well, good. You know, I'm very inspired myself by what I'm seeing here. You know.
It's 20 years is a long time. Is it?
Well, yeah, but you know, they say this is a journey that you take one day at a time. But I celebrate Errol for what he's doing. I mean, I salute him. First of all, I'm a fellow traveler with this, you know, and I'm doing 5 years, and I look forward to if I could make it to 20. So, you know, I think this is a fundamental statement about getting to this point in the journey. I thought it was really significant for him to do something like this, because what he said is why he's doing it is that he wants to never forget where he was 20 years ago, and this is one way to keep reminding him. So this might sort of give him a kind of reservoir for another 20.
It's really positive that you know, media people are coming out to support him as well.
Well, yeah, and I think that has to do with the impact he has on the media generally and on many of us. You know, so I think it's a kind of solidarity with what he's doing, and in my case, because of that, also we are from the same part of the country, you know, which is in the deep south. He's from Guapo and Gonzales, and I'm from Los Boho, which is sort of through the bush, as it were, in the same part of the country. So there's all of that between him and I, even before I knew who he was and he knew who I was. Yeah, man.
Well, Andy, good luck on your own journey, and we hope that you make it to Tunapuna in one piece.
I think I will. That is not difficult at this point anymore. Right, because with all these people, it's easy to do that. Yeah.
Okay. We're walking through Aruka now. The crowd seems to be getting a little bigger. You don't find so, Ryan? You don't find it?
I really think we're picking up some additional support here, which is great. Yeah.
Ryan, you're from National Lotteries.
That's correct. I'm the HR manager there, and we at Lotteries actually, we've had a representative at each leg because Errol is very special to us. Errol does the massive ceremonies for us for our end of year function, for Carnival Fiesta and our family fun day. Every year faithfully, and we're just really, really happy to support him through 20 years. He has been with us for a long time, so it's an excellent opportunity for us to celebrate that with him, and also hopefully to reach the rest of the population as to how serious our drug abuse, our substance abuse problem is. Yeah.
It is a serious problem. What are some of the other ways that we could start to address it, though? I mean, you know, it's so pervasive at this point.
I think most of the times parents have an idea that something is wrong, but they don't know what to do. There are so many NGOs out there that offer free counseling. If you have someone, of course, who's in denial, you, the family, can go and get counseling as to ways to support people through substance abuse. So the worst thing to do is to put them out, force them out, deprive them of money. They're going to steal, they're going to do whatever they want to support their habit. So what you have to do as a family, if you can't get your family member that is on a substance into counseling, get the counseling yourselves and see what you can do, you know, to assist that family member. Yeah.
Good stuff, good stuff. So have a good walk. How you surviving on the walk there?
So far so good, you know.
Walking since Arima or
yes.
before?
Yes, trying to stay hydrated and enjoying it. Yeah.
We're just approaching Piaco Road here, and I'm here with Wesley, who's from the Defense Force, PTI. Staff, right. Wesley, how's it going?
Fine. Actually, it's tremendous. It's a wonderful, overwhelming experience.
Yeah?
Yes, it is.
How far have you been walking from?
From Ikakas.
Really?
Yeah, from
And you're looking so, like, fresh. I thought you started walking in Arima.
No, from Ikakas. I was now mentioning to someone, I had to tell Errol we had to start because everybody's saying, like, they didn't walk from Ikakas, so you gotta look like.
You all have to start looking a little better.
I'll get it out, yeah. Jogging on the ground, yeah.
What's been some of the energy you've been getting from the people along the road, along the way from Ikakas?
Actually, it's the comments. Like early this morning, somewhere in Rosilak, as we were passing, a woman opened the window and said, like, my paws raising, thank you, Jesus, and those sort of things. Those are the motivating things to have you keep going.
How many of your men and women are out here today?
Approximately 85 people, students and staff instructors.
What's the role of these Defence Force volunteers here today?
Well, actually, we are just coordinating a kind of corner for Errol, to help him with the massages, help him with whatever he needs. Yeah. We just service provide a study for him.
Okay. And that's a very nice thing for the Defence Force to do, though.
It is. Well, that's part of our job, to provide service. Yeah.
Okay. Excellent. Well, congratulations, and thanks so much for giving the support to Uncle Errol, as we all call him.
Thank you very much. Thanks for giving us the opportunity to give the support.
Okay, then. Take care. Enjoy the rest of the walk. Okay.
Today is a joyful day, you know. Thank God. I was the house mother at the rehab, so I lived there with them throughout the 3 months, 24 hours a day. So
that must have been really intense.
It was a good experience. Even the bad times, you know, it was a learning experience for me. The good times, overwhelming. That's part of my life I can't ever forget.
Do you know what's going on here today?
Yes, I really know. Well, it's a walkathon and thing. They're going back that, right? Iraq, right?
No. This is a freedom walk from Ikakas to Movitown. Oh, you know Errol Fabian?
Yeah.
How long have you been watching Errol Fabian?
Long time. Ever since I'm girl.
Do you know he was on drugs before?
Yeah. I know that he was on drugs and he come off and thing, which is real good. Yeah.
Right, and ironically, today is his freedom walk where he celebrates 20 years of being drug-free. So what do you think about that?
That is very good. He should go how much? 100 years more. That is a good example. Now, yeah, partner, in front of the bus, pick it up on camera, the film, shall sit on TV. All right? Right, brother?
Yes, different.
Yeah.
All right, hi, what's your name?
Jeffrey.
Hi, Jeffrey. I heard that you're also drug-free.
Yes, I am one of those. Yeah.
How long has it been?
10 years, 5 months, and 2 days now. Yes. And I am very, very moved at what I'm seeing. I hope that it will continue every year because in the last 10 years, this is my work to help the addicts on the streets, the recovering addicts, the alcoholics, and everybody in general to have a better life.
So, do you know Errol personally, or have you been supporting him over the years?
On many, many occasions. I know his brother. We all went through the same battle and so on. And, you know, today, I'm so proud to be here to support this thing because I hope that it continues.
So this is the end of the Arima leg. He's getting into Maxi, where he'll be starting again from South Key and Duncan Street.
is, I am holding on for the coordinator. But the coordinator put me in a spot because this is the final leg. And somebody must say something. So I catch it. We will begin at 2000 hours. For those who don't know, that is 8 o'clock. We will be proceeding north on Duncan Street as the crow flies. For those who don't know, that is a straight line. Right, the reason why I'm getting on so, I'm celebrating 29 years in the army today.
I give my full support to Errol and this venture. It is something, I mean, he has undertaken a mammoth venture, and full marks to him. And I trust that after this walk, this country will not be the same again.
People, if you just joined us, this is the 6th leg, and I understand that Errol, well, he's walked 5 legs thus far, all the way from Icacos right down here to Port of Spain, the corner of South Quay and Duncan Street. There was some talk that he may not be able to make it, actually. He may not be able to make the next 3 hours. I don't know. Christopher Laird is here. I'm going to grab him. He doesn't expect me to grab him, but I am going to grab him, whether he wants me to grab him or not, because that's how we do it. Christopher, you've been walking with Errol. You've been traveling with him. There was some talk by the Army, and I'll probably grab one of them when I can, that he may not be able to make this last leg, that he may be a little feeble.
Finishing the last leg, and it's quite understandable. I don't think he has anything to prove anymore. So he's going to make a good try, but I'm hoping that if he can't make, we just pick him up and take him.
That's right.
We pick him up and carry him.
So whether he physically walks it or he...
take him.
We take him.
The community have to take him.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. I hope so.
Yeah.
If not.
Well, absolutely.
But he has been steadfast all day, one foot in front of the other. It's an amazing task because I know what it is like. I tried it, and I'm hardly walking now, so I know what it's like. Anyway, it's about to start, so we probably need to go and check him out.
Okay, people, well, as you can see, we are continuing on this, the 6th leg. It's dark, so you would understand that it's the last leg of this walk. We are walking up Duncan Street in Port of Spain. Errol Fabian has been advised not to undertake this leg of the walk because the doctor has said he hasn't hydrated himself or rehydrated himself enough. But Errol is determined, and we, the people of Guyana and the people of Trinidad and Tobago, are determined to assist him with this walk, even if it means carrying him physically. However, in true Errol style, and because of what he needs to achieve here today, he is making a valiant attempt to do so. You know, we're making the rounds through town. Now, this is the route that Errol chose. This is the route that Errol wanted to walk because of the significance in terms of the days he spent taking drugs. And some of these places that we're walking along, some of these roads are roads that he would frequent in search of drugs. He's doing really well. He's looking really strong. We don't have any concerns right now. Next to me, though, is a man called Garth Sinclair. Garth Sinclair works for a radio station. Garth Sinclair is a former regiment man, still in the regiment, but in the reserves now. And Garth understands this thing. Garth understands drug abuse from inside out and the destructive nature of taking drugs. And he was saying to me, this walk is extremely significant for him because of what it symbolizes for him personally. Garth, just tell the viewers exactly what you were telling me about why this is so important for you.
It's very important for me because when Errol came with the idea, I said, he's got to be kidding me from the carcass to Port of Spain, at movie town nonetheless, and I'm saying, so when I went home and I studied, I said, you know what, this is what we did, but we felt no pain when we were doing it. So
When you say we, those who are people who are taking drugs?
people like myself, recovering addict, this is what I would do if I come to Nelson Street and there is no cocaine there and we have to go to Belmont, I would walk. If they say, well, I don't have any and it's Princestown, if I could get to Princestown and I don't have transport, I will walk. But the difference with now is that we felt no pain then. But this walk today, I felt all the pain, and it symbolizes it symbolizes what we've been through, and it feels so good to know that I could do this for my country, I could do this for all the brothers who are suffering and still can't see the need to clean up and get their act together. This is really significant.
Garth, you've watched this walk take on some serious momentum coming from Ikakos. You watch old men, old women, young women coming out of their houses with banners and so on. Do you think, honestly, that this will sow a seed of change in Trinidad and Tobago in terms of those who are under the yoke of drug addiction?
This country is a hard nut to crack, Marcia, and everybody's not involved yet. Everybody's not on board. But for those of who on board, and because remember, for an addict to clean his act up, he has to know he has a problem and do something about it. But for the country on a whole, I would hope that this walk serves to let them know that we have a serious problem in our country. We are losing a lot of young people by the dozens, and it's because of that drug war. And the thing about it, you said I'm a former soldier. Now the thing about being a soldier, an enemy fires at you, you can fire back. You see where the shots coming from and you return fire. But with this drug, this war we have now on drug, you don't see the enemy. You don't know where the enemy is. You don't know who is bringing in the drugs. All you see are the casualties at the end of it. And we now, as the soldiers, have to try and clean it up. So I hope, that Trinidad and Tobago gets the message and do something fast, from top to bottom.
Sure. Thank you very much, Garth. With me is a man we all know. Most of us love him. I say most, okay. But of course we love him. Brother Resistance of the Rapso movement. Brother Resistance, this walk, you were telling me earlier, means a lot to you as a Rapso artist and as a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago. Why?
Well, very much so, because the scourge of drugs, drug abuse and things has been so detrimental to the progress of ourselves as a people, the progress of the youth, and it has affected the Rapso movement, it has affected the network community organization many years ago in our stride forward. So it's really important that we show in some way that we need to really lead a fight back against the abuse of drugs and to educate people. They need to be aware to live a healthy and drug-free life.
Roger.
Let me chat with Magella for a moment. It's like himself talking to himself here. And Attila, right, and Attila, because I just joined the walk. I was on set this morning. You guys, I know you started it with him, Magella. What was the significance of this for you?
It was phenomenal. Marcia, I don't know, it was so many things. We started off in the dead of night. There was a big crowd there to meet Errol. There was a feeling of anticipation. A lot of people know Errol, he's like a national treasure, but they may not actually have met him. They see him on TV, so there's a lot of excitement. But there was also his family and his friends. His children were all there. A sister came in from Canada specifically for this walk. Another sister flew in from Tobago. But also, too, it was the beauty of walking at night. We walked through marshlands, we walked through coconut groves, and as you know, Gael is the channel for the environment. And it was just beautiful to see it, and to see, you know, Cedros is very significant to us at the moment, and to really experience that beauty and to understand how important it is to breathe fresh air, to have a place of respite from this kind of mad, fume-filled city, and to understand fully what we could lose. So that was great, it for me.
Yeah. Attila in it, supporting it, in the midst of it, what does it mean for you?
I don't know, it's just, I was very overwhelmed when I joined this morning, this afternoon in Arima. It's just to see people just coming out and standing on the road, and, you know, just now when we passed through Laventille, a woman came out and she was like, God bless my eyesight, I didn't think that I would see you all here. I'm so glad, keep up the good work, and it's good to get that kind of solidarity and support from people, just, you know, just like a genuine outpouring of it, you know, and I'm really glad that Uncle Errol, you know, pioneered something like this. It's really, really important. And the silence of the march as well, you know, like walking through the streets and just this absolute silence, as if people themselves were reflecting and going on that journey with Uncle Errol at the same time, you know. It's really phenomenal. And just watching the determination in his face and, you know, just the, it's really a beautiful thing.
I heard Magella talking earlier about oneness of community and people. I heard Delana Mitchell as well, a PA at Gael, talking about the community spirit and feel and oneness and so on. Do you get that as well?
Absolutely, absolutely. It's just, you know, all crew and crew. We out here, we sweating, people legs paining them, but, you know, and as Christopher was saying earlier, if we have to pick him up and carry him for the rest of the way, that's what we're going to do, you know. And yeah, it's just, I mean, I can think of few other organizations that would have that kind of support system for, you know, for somebody who is their boss, you know.
And I think it's important that we did pass through Laventille, just as I spoke about starting the walk with remembrance of the environment that is being killed. As we walk through Laventille, I had a thought, and I spared a thought for all those young men that are being killed, and that we are kind of, it could pass because, you know what I'm saying? It could pass because, and I'm saying no, it can't pass and it mustn't pass. And we have to stand up for every single one that has been killed, no matter what circumstance. And we could lose a lot we could lose a lot of our rights, in a sense. We could lose them so easily because we're afraid of crime.
How's the walk going for you?
Oh, fine. Some of our members joined the walk from the velodrome, and they walked all the way down. So, I mean, Errol has been with us, you know, working on different projects with the Trinidad and Tobago Roadrunners. He was out last week Sunday when we did our marathon. We saw him as we were coming out of Chaguanas, and so he's been supporting us for a number of years as well. So we wanted to come out tonight again to show solidarity, one against the movement, and of course support for Errol.
Yeah, it's really wonderful to see all these people come out and support.
Absolutely, yeah, it's amazing when we saw the crowd, you know, just kind of all following him, and everybody's so energetic still. It is amazing, and I think there's an energy here tonight that is indescribable. I know. I wish all your viewers are out here tonight.
you're going through something which involves a lot of pain. Of course, modern medicine may have taken away a lot of that, but still. But it is only through the pain, and interestingly enough, I think the risk that goes with the pain, because you could die, that you really come to the new creation, to new life, to deeper life.
You are with the Road Runners Association, and you've been walking since Montrose?
Well, it was fairly good. Coming to Caroni, the weather was just perfect, and the breeze was blowing so nice.
Yeah.
Right?
He's given a lot of himself and really dedicating, of course, his life to a better Trinidad and Tobago. And I mean, that's so fantastic. I think his what he can offer young people is endless. There's never a no-end situation. There's always a hope. Always hope for anyone on drugs, anyone feeling that there's no way out, there is a way out. And just make your first step, and one day at a time, and it could be 20 years for you like this. Praise God.
It's overwhelming because, I mean, I had been in contact with people who had been a part of it earlier on in the day, and I got the impression about 100 people. So to see what I suspect is a few thousand in it, I think that's really fantastic. I feel really great about the response. The question, of course, always is, as people walk, where do they find the power to really work for change? So a society free not only of drugs, but free of all the addictions that afflict us. The addiction to power, the addiction to money, the addiction to the fancy lifestyle. All of these things are part of the destruction of the country. And so I hope in some way this sends a message that we do not have to give in to any of our addictions, no matter how overwhelmed we may be by them. Or the message that Errol is sending is, it takes a while, but you can get off and you can stay off.
The importance of the silence on this march, what impact do you think that has for people who choose to do it silently and walk silently?
Well, if it wasn't for you, I'd be walking silently. No, I think the silence is important because, well, two messages. One is that a lot of the agony of drugs is really in silence. Very often you can't find the words to express your pain. So there's a counter movement here in a silence that is purposeful. But more than that, I think for the country as a whole, I just think there's too much blasted talk. Everybody talking. And the action that is necessary, the silent, concerted, determined, consistent effort that is necessary to turn things around, very few people want to make it. So I think that's one of the messages of the silence.
And I've just been told that this is a manifestation of Orisha. I'm not necessarily sure what manifestation, but this is part of the cleansing process that she is going through.
It was significant that she met us at the crossroads. It's very issue, and
Issue manifesting, I like bad this time. I spoke with her assistant. So,
and what does that mean for those who
Ishu-
don't know?
Ishu is one of the divinities in the Ifa or Orisha pantheon. Ishu has about 21 portfolios. One of them is the guardian of the crossroads. When you come to a turning point in your life, it's described as coming to a crossroads. It allows you an opportunity to make new decisions, different decisions. So for me personally, it is a powerful symbol of hope for those who reach a crossroads in their lives. And it seems to me that the Orisha deciding to manifest themselves in this arena is a very positive thing.
Surrounded as at the start by the Defense Force, PTI, and the president is with him. This must be an absolutely momentous occasion for him, a momentous time because it all ends here. Even more people waiting here to meet him. And the crowd breaking into spontaneous applause at a magnificent feat. I'm not sure at what point he will break his silence, but we will see. Abebele, good friend, is next to him. The Mayor Murchison Brown, the Mayor of Port of Spain, is next to him, is with him. Over there? You speak over there, okay. And he's surrounded by a lot of people who are just thanking God that he made it, thanking God that he didn't collapse, thanking God that this, I don't know, an absolutely momentous occasion has come to this, a fantastic end.
Could we have some, just step back a little bit, please. Give Errol and their excellencies a little room, please. You just step back. Errol. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, this evening marks an historic day for Trinidad and Tobago. As the Freedom Walk is about to come to its successful conclusion, Mr. Errol Fabian will now break his self-imposed 24-hour silence. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Errol Fabian.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Jesus. Praise his holy name.
Assalamu alaikum. Sitaram. God bless everybody. May the blessings of the Most High God be upon all of us here tonight. This journey has been long. The journey today and my journey in recovery. They've both been long. But like today was done one step at a time, I try to continue my journey one step at a time. A lot of things occurred to me while walking. One of them is that we are all one. We are all one. The rain fell a couple of times when we were walking. And I knew the rain was coming because one tiny little drop of rain hit my forehead first. And I knew the rain was coming. But that one little speck didn't do anything except let me know it was coming. But when all of it came together, like how we are together now, it made a big difference. It made a statement. When we were walking down the avenue just now, some people were saying, say something, say something. Well, our silence did say something today. Yeah. Our silence does speak. I don't have a lot more to say except that I pray that we could all work towards a drug-free Trinidad and Tobago. And if you really want to get rid of the crime, we have to get rid of the drugs. My friends, I am very tired, and my children are here to take me home. God bless you all, and thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, that brings an end to the Freedom Walk.
Your Excellency, when first asked to participate in this walk, did you have to think about it?
No, absolutely not. I mean, in fact, I would have insisted on coming had they not asked me.
What is the significance of this walk for you, sir?
Well, it's very symbolic, but I think it is a message that has been sent out to our people, which I think they have heard and will act upon. So, I congratulate Errol, the organizer of the march, Neil Giuseppe. I think they've both done marvelous jobs. And we will see, I am sanguine, in the years ahead, a remarkably drug-free Trinidad and Tobago.
Thank you very much, sir. Well, as you can hear, people, the audience has broken out into spontaneous singing. And we're at the moment looking for Errol, who has just indicated that he's extremely tired, but is still available and willing to do to hug and to greet people. Errol. Uncle, sorry. I know you're tired. I know you're tired. Was there any point when you felt that you couldn't make it, when you felt that you just would have to be stretchered or carried by the army, or when you felt that you would have to ride in the bus? At the start? No, it can't be at the start.
I don't know. I didn't do this. I don't know. From the get-go, I tell myself I bit off more than I could chew. My legs were feeling like blocks of wood, my calves, the soles of my feet. I mean, from the first leg, from the very first leg, it felt like an impossible feat.
But you didn't train for it, did you?
No, I didn't train for it.
Why not?
I've been walking for 46 years. Well, I started walking when I was 1.
I understand the doctors felt that you should give up somewhere around South Key, and that was the doctor's recommendation. Yeah. What did you think about that recommendation?
Well, I respected it, but I know how I was feeling. I know my body. I know how I was feeling. And I also changed my footwear there. I put on my good old...
The Birkenstock.
My good old Birkenstock slippers, and that changed everything for me. Before that, it was the soles of my feet. I wasn't going to be able to continue.
Sure.
Yeah.
So what happens tomorrow? We love you. We're very proud of you. Very proud of you. Hey, woo!
Boy.
Well, an outward, not outward displays of emotion, Christopher, but you are the man, Errol said, in the beginning, one of the people, Errol said, what made you see something? He didn't see it himself. Errol, we love you.
La camera de Hey Brenda, let's have cameras across.
Excuse me, who's shouting at me there? Hi Paul, hi Nikki, how do you do? Whoa, good evening everybody, good evening, thank you very much. Nikki, exhausted. I also feel very purposeful. I feel so many things, but I feel a lot of hope and I feel a lot of strength. That's what I feel more than anything else. Well, I haven't any idea, you know. I don't have a clue.
You have been getting a constant, we've been on air since 8 o'clock and they have just been so many calls for you, Errol, so many inspirational words for you. We have cried in the studio, you know you have to make me cry.
You always have snot in your nose, girl.
I was telling them how it's been a very emotional week for you.
It has
and I'm sure, tell us, I mean, we try to put into words for all those watching and those on the internet, etc. What that final leg felt like, Errol, because watching the pictures is so strong, we got so much strength from the move.
Well, I felt like running, but I had on my slippers. That's what I felt like in the final leg. And I was drinking something that made me wee-wee a lot. So I had to keep stopping. No, the wee-wee truck charged 20,000 plus VAT, so we had to do without it. But yes, I did. But guys, everybody, I set out to do something. I set out to give thanks to my higher power for blessing me with 20 years of 1 days by giving back 1 day to my higher power. I set out to give thanks to my higher power for blessing me with a voice. So I didn't say anything today. But what I would like to say now to you and to everybody is, let's try 1 day at a time for a drug-free Trinidad and Tobago. God knows that if we want to get rid of the crime, we've got to get rid of the drugs. Thanks, guys. Good night.
Thank you so much, Uncle Errol.
When we say love, we mean unconditional love. Leave home your drugs and bring out your love and come.
Let the walk begin.
Just bring out your love and come. Join the love generation. Again, leave home your gun and bring out your love and come. Don't drink the rum. Just bring out your love and come. Daughter and son, bring out your love and come. Join the love generation. Missing me, pal. My love is like the water flowing, like the breeze that blowing, like the sea that growing. My love is like a choir singing loud. Loud and very proud when you tell them.